Hi guys, back. I think it's been more than a month, a long time. Been busy with work and also with other products coming out. So I haven't had time to do another, I don't know what you call it, a video or a scoop, whatever, but finally had the time, and a lot of people have been asking me about it, to do one about Immaculate Soccer. I mean, I did one before the product came out a while back, but now the product's been out, I think, 10 days, 11 days. So I figured I'd do one, probably sort of like a review and a little bit of discussion of my personal opinion on the product. So basically what I'm going to cover today, let me show, this is appearance, and most importantly, I have had a lot of questions from people asking me about the checklist, the case hit, and all that, and most importantly, the value of the boxes or the cases, or is it worth breaking, is it worth blah 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 blah. So these are the three things that I'll probably discuss today. Easiest would be the appearance. I mean, as you can see, I've got the base cards on there. Good and bad about this product, just let me say it straight away. I love the base cards. A lot of people have been saying that they want to collect the base cards. The designs are good and they're all acetated, as in, you know, they're shiny. I don't know if all you know what acetate means, but it's all acetated. I mean, especially I've also got the duals and the triples from previous Immaculate. The duals or the triples weren't acetated. For this product, they're all acetated. So that's what I love. I mean, I've broken 3 cases for the ties, so I've seen the actual cards in hand. Like I said, the base card looks nice. The duals or the triples, I mean, we were lucky to pull all, I think we pulled all triples in 3 cases that we broke, and those were nice. A lot of people have been saying that, which I also agree, that Panini sort of took a shortcut in terms of a lot of the images they use are from cards from previously, for example, like Impeccable. So that's the negative about the design or the appearance I have to say about it. The good is I like the base cards, I like the triple duels, but like I said, I'm a sucker for duels, triples. You see my collections. I collect a lot of the duels and triples from previous Immaculate. Like I said, the downside is that they use a lot of repeat images, and you can see people review it on Facebook all over, so I didn't put the example here. But most importantly that I want to touch on is that before this Immaculate, you're going to call Immaculate, let's say 2020, Immaculate is known for the patches, sick patches, beautiful patches. This Immaculate doesn't do it for me. That's an honest statement. Why? 2 things. And when I listen, my opinion anyway. I think they still have good patches, and they do. I mean, if you watch a lot of breaks, as I have, you would know that they have a lot of good patches. But usually for Immaculate, the previous Immaculate Soccer, of course, there's been 2, not including this one. The case made were around, let's say, 1500 to 1700. And because of the soccer boom, Panini now sees, I don't know, good opportunity to make money. They diluted the product, meaning they produces more cases. I think based on the numbers that people have been calculating, is around 2,400 to 2,700, depends on which number you want to believe. No one knows exact. But my point is, so by increasing cases made from 1,500 to 2,400, for example, that's an extra 1,000 cases. So what they have done is that they have had to put in a lot of what people call the napkin patches, or whatever, the badass patches that, you know, just look so plain and doesn't reflect what Immaculate is for. So basically they've made more cases, so they had to put in more of the bad patches, which makes this product at least a little less appealing than what it used to from its previous, if you call Immaculate 2 or Immaculate 1. So that's the downside, because they decided to produce more. Same with the base cards. You know, the apparels are higher in these products than it used to. Again, it comes back because Panini wanted to produce more. So that kind of sucked, and it ties in with the checklist, which I will touch on a bit later. Same problem. By wanting to produce more, they had to put in a lot of autos that, let's just be simple, nobody collects. And opinion how they do it, they probably went back to their warehouse and they got a lot of sticker autos that came from really old products. And I'm talking about 2016 products like Spectra, like Gold, what do you call it, Black Gold, from Revolution, from Don Russ, because you can see these guys haven't been in any products for a long time. For example, like Cody Jones, Adrian Ramos, even Robbie Keane, who was last in Spectra, I think. I have cards for Robbie Keane because I collect the global icons. So those are like, so they basically wanted to produce more, and they used really old stickers from older products. So that's why they had to make the base cards a higher parallel than it used to be. They had to add in a lot of napkin patches, and they had to go back and get a whole lot of sticker autos from older products in case to produce more. So that's basically my take on it. Like I said, I love the base cards. I love how they're all acetated, but they're also the downside. Now, a lot of people ask me about this. Okay, so what I've done is list out, I call it case hit possibilities, but from what I've seen, I've opened 3 personally for ties here, and I probably watch around 50, 70 cases broken. And I'm talking about cases from Japan, US, of course, Australia, Hong Kong, Singapore. I may even watch one from Malaysia last night. So I've seen cases which have gone all over the world. Now, bear in mind, these numbers include hits for players that are in triples and duels. Now, we know that some of those are not case hit. For example, Neymar triple is not a case hit. I've seen only Arsenal could be a case hit. I've seen Lewandowski triple that I question that aren't case hits. But as you can see from these numbers, Lewandowski, Neymar, CR7, Baggio, Henry, Messi, Pulisic, Beckham, Maradona, all case hits. I've got Del Piero there because I've seen some cases where the best card is Gareth Bale or Del Piero. Now, I've spoken to a lot of breakers and nobody thinks that Bale's a case hit. Some people do. Me personally, I think Del Piero is a case hit. And I'm not going to get an argument that it's a good case hit or bad. I mean, of course, all products have good case hits, bad case hits. But I'm just showing the numbers here, and surprisingly, ranked number 3 is CR7. So in terms of if you're trying to get a case hit, Ronaldo has more hits than Baggio, which is surprising considering Baggio has like 299. So, but I've also seen cases where, again, this is from my own observation. I saw a case broke in Hong Kong yesterday when I did this tape, that I think that when there's a 1-of-1 premium patch auto, that those cards are case hits or replaces case hits. From the example I saw, it was a Martial for Man United 1-of-1. And I looked at all the other box hits, and again, my personal opinion, I think that Martial was a case hit. Similar to when I opened our third break here, we had a Verratti premium patch 1-of-1. I mean, we pulled a triple by a minute, which had Lewandowski, so maybe people thought that the Lewandowski was the case hit. But now looking at some of the cases, maybe the Verratti replaces the case hit, because the case I watched in Hong Kong with Martial, that was the best card, and there were no other cards that have these players that I have on the board here. So what I'm thinking now is that apart from the players that I have here, the 1-on-1 premium patch autos are also considered cases. I could be wrong, but that's from, like I said, what I've seen broken. Again, these numbers are just to give you an idea. They include the triples, the duels. As we all know, Baggio is also in the triple, also in the duel. Baggio triple with Donadoni, and I think Aldo Serena is not a case hit. So this is an idea, like I said, and again, repeating Del Piero, I'm not sure. I originally had Bale in there as well, but I took it out. So, but that gives you an idea that, I mean, if you're chasing case hits, then Lewandowski especially Lewandowski, but even Neymar and CR7 are heads above the rest. I mean, if you're chasing Maradona, I know, everybody wants one, or even a Beckham. You can compare it to like the other cases, and you can see how harder it is to hit these players. So I thought I put this up, but as a day of doing the video, I mean, everybody probably talked about this. The Beckham prices on eBay has gone crazy. I mean, there's one on eBay now. I think it's all going to 23,000, but it's a 210. But again, the harder you hit, it's gonna be more expensive. Again, in every time I always say, even with we'll touch on it a bit later, the cards that have no parallel or even the match worn cards will hold greater value. But I also want to touch on this. A lot of people ask me about this, in terms of which team to play can play. Now I've got Italy highlighted there because everyone always says that Italy hits. Of course, because if you look at all the total cards, Italy doubles what other team has. So that's basically why Italy hits a lot. I mean, I take Italy all the time, but only because I want the triples and the duels. But to give you an idea, I mean, even Chelsea has a lot of cards. Manchester United has a lot of cards. Man City, 4,500. So these teams are always going to hit, but it depends what card you hit. For example, if I take Italy, and no offense to Montolivo and Ambrosini or even Stefan Mariotto, I'm not chasing those cards. I mean, I'm going to hit it, but they're going to sell for like $15, $20. Not every card is going to sell well. But in terms of if you want a good team, these teams have a lot of cards. So obviously, they're going to hit. But do you really want those cards, or you're actually chasing? I mean, I take Italy because I want the duels, the triples. And if you look at the Italy, I'll show you here now. If you look at, for example, let me go down to Italy. Why do I take Italy a lot? Because apart from the triples and the duels, I mean, they look good, but if you look, there are actually lots of cards that don't have parallels, and you know what I mean? Like, for example, here, Alexander Nesta has a Celebration 25, which I have yet to see one. He has a Moments or even a Scanning Time. I have not seen one. Those are the cards I would want to hit. Those are the cards that I think would sell well if you are an investor. I mean, even for example, Brighton, right? Even for a team like Brighton, it has an Aaron Moore. Let me scroll up here. I want to go in details. I mean, if you go look at Brighton, even Brighton has Aaron Moore with a Celebration, and that's 225. So I mean, even though it's Aaron Moore, I mean, of course, his other autographs might go for, I don't know, $20-$30. But if you hit like a celebration auto of Aaron Moore, it's gonna sell well because there's only 25 cards. So, if you really want to sort of like more invest than collect, then it's not just about the big teams. Of course, if you have the cash, go for the big teams. Go for Beckham. Go for whoever you prefer. But certain teams do have these. I mean, Panini was very smart to put these types in because these are what are called money cards. Of course, they're not going to be $1,000 card, but I'm saying, but my point is that an Aaron Moore Celebration is going to sell a lot, and I mean a lot higher than an Aaron Moore Modern Marks. And if you go through the list for even a team like Ajax, I mean, we pulled a triple Ajax to 5, and that's also a money card. So there are a lot of good, I wouldn't call it hidden gems because now that everyone's sort of study the checklist like it's a final exam. But if you go through all the teams, basically a lot of teams do have these kind of cards. I mean, I saw a triple Arsenal pull yesterday from one of the breakers. That card looked pretty nice. I mean, Atletico Madrid. I saw a triple with Forlan, Torres, and I think it was David Villa to 10, sold for like $800-$900, and so there are a lot of teams. I mean, Atletico Madrid is another team that does interesting in terms of they have a couple short print patches for Torres. They have the triple, like I mentioned. They also have the dual. Of course, they have other. I mean, basically, you take Atletico Madrid, you're gonna hit like a Maxi Rodriguez, almost one per case because I think he's the guy with the most signed cards in the product. like I said, go through the list when you have time. And there are a lot of players which, I mean, okay, before I say that, a lot of players have true one-on-one, but you're going to have to be very lucky to hit those. But when you take, for example, a team like Brighton, which Aaron Moy to 25, it's not as hard as trying to hit a true one-on-one, if you know what I mean. I mean, I know everybody wants a Mount book, the Pulisic book. I mean, if you have the cash and go for it, they're harder to hit, but who knows, you might get lucky. But I mean, even for a team like Colombia, which I've got on screen here, you look at Carlos Valderrama. He has moments and he has spending time. Yes, it's not going to sell like a Maldini spending time on eBay that sold for 1,900, I think. But I bet I'll bet with you that Carlos Valderrama moments or spending time will double or triple your money when you try and sell his ink autos. So basically, almost every team has these kind of cards. It just depends. You got to look at your budget and see which player you prefer. But I can tell you from experience, because from previous sets, I always collect celebration, I always collect moments. This year I won't be, only because they've done it a little bit different in terms of what Panini has done. What I mean is that, for example, celebration, it usually 25 cards for every player for this 2020. For example, Klose has only 5 celebrations, so I can't break the bank to buy a Klose, or I think for moments or something, Pulisic has like 1 card or one-on-one. So unless, which I don't even take Chelsea or Pulisic, so I'm not going to be able to complete a set, which is kind of disappointing in terms of why Panini did that, because I know a lot of people are like myself who likes to collect the set, but when a certain set has like Pulisic has a one-on-one, or even Celebration has a Klose to 5, Andy Cole, I think is the other one that is to 5, and it makes it very hard for someone like myself to try to get the set. So I basically, this set will be the first time that I will not be able to or thinking of collecting a set. But back to this is that there are a lot of good cards. I mean, even a lot of people don't take Real Madrid, but if you look at Real Madrid, there's a possibility of Iker Casillas spanning time, which is going for big money. There's also the base cards of Rodrigo. So there's also teams which have base cards. Now, before I go onto eBay, one point to be careful. A lot of people said they want to chase the base cards, which is fair enough. Now, this time, Panini has 200 players in the base card set, right? One case, or if people do a full case break, there's only 6 blocks, meaning there's only 12 base cards, because each block has 2 base cards. So out of 200 players, only 12 will come out in a case. My point is, hitting a base card is actually harder than chasing certain autos or patches, which I know doesn't make a lot of sense, but if you've joined a lot of soccer breaks or you collect soccer cards, you will understand what I mean. So if I want a Liverpool base card, which I do, I've taken Liverpool on certain pages where the price aren't as high as the other pages. Hitting a base card is harder than hitting an auto, because there's 200 players. Each case there's only 12 base cards. So you've got to be the lucky 12 out of 200, which I did not do the math, but I'm sure you all get the picture of what I'm trying to say. So it's not easy, man, to hit a base card. Trust me, I've been in a lot of breaks where, I mean, for example, before I go on to eBay, I've probably taken Italy in, let's say, 15 cases, maybe 10, 15. I have yet to hit a base card, Italian base card. And I'm not talking about a Zaniolo or Tonali, what people are chasing. I have not hit a single Italian base card in 10 or 15 cases that I've taken. Not one. So that just shows you how hard it is. Even with Liverpool, which has probably one of the most teams that have a lot of base cards. On average, I might hit one. On the 2 cases I took myself in Thailand, because no one was saying Liverpool, I did not hit a single base card. So just to emphasize my point, hitting a base card isn't as easy as you all think it might be. Now, my last point on this video is that a lot of people ask me for in terms of value. Let's just skip the cases. I've always said this since, I created this card community in Thailand. Cards which are match 1 on card and doesn't have any parallel will sell well. Unfortunately, for this product, you can sort of cut out the on card. I mean, there are some, for example, the Lukaku book and all that, but it's a small percentage. But there are a lot, and I mean a lot of cards that do not have parallel, like spanning times, moments, celebrations, the true one-on-one, and it does reflect on the prices. I was talking about Maldini. I mean, this one's got best offer accepted, but it got accepted around, I think, 1,800, 1,700, I don't know. I mean, of course, Messi's going to sell well. People are just selling boxes, blah, blah, blah. Thanks to Andy, I've changed it to the USD so you guys can understand easier. See? Spanning time, Beckenbauer, also 1,000 plus. We're going to skip Ronaldo because we all know Ronaldo and Messi are going to sell now. Of course, people are chasing Mason Mount, so that reflects a true one-on-one at Eto'o. Patches for Odoi, which is a one-on-one. Again, as you see, moments for Del Piero, triple or dual, people chase. This one, I'm not going to skip. I'm not going to mention it because if I'm skipping it, you all know what I mean. Again, a dual, Allison one-on-one, a dual. So you start to see a trend that apart from the sick patches, you see a lot of duals and triples being high. You see a lot of the cards with no parallel being high. And because they're harder to hit. Is the product worth it? Honestly, at this price? No. Let me go back to this page. Is the product worth it? Not at 2,000 or whatever they're selling, 1,800 boxes USD per box. And the chancing of hitting good cards, no. Because why? There's too many junk autos. But when you do hit, is it going to sell well? Yes, because, well, there's a lot more collectors now and a lot more investors. Will the prices of the boxes go down? Maybe. A little bit. Do I see it going down a lot? I'll just give you a straight answer and no. Now, my thinking is along the line. I think Austin of US Soccer Base mentioned this. How can it go down when Impeccable Soccer EPL, which came out a little while earlier, right? Now, Impeccable boxes have gone up to around 1,600, 1,700. Now, your best hits in Impeccable that you can get is probably CR7 Ronaldo Champions to 10 and harder to hit. Let's say, I'm sure they'll probably sell for, I don't know, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, right? But when in Immaculate, you have a chance of hitting a Beckham book. I'm not saying it's easy to hit, but my point is there's a chance of hitting a Beckham book, right? There's a chance of hitting a Maradona. So these two cards alone are going to be higher value than Ronaldo Champion. So my point is, if the chance of hitting a bigger value card is in this product, how can its price go lower than another product where the biggest cards isn't as value as this product? Not to mention, this product also has a Gio Reyna, Ansu Fati, Haaland, Ferran Torres, Greenwood. Not getting an argument here that it's true RC or not. My point is people are still chasing those cards because they have the RC logo, the first premium card of these rookies, so-called rookies or whatever. Again, the chances of hitting these cards and with the Maradona, the Beckham book, prices aren't going to go down. A little bit, but it's not going to go lower than Impeccable. Again, I could be wrong. I heard Austin also mention this. He could be wrong. I could be wrong. Who knows? But that's just my personal opinion. Back to the point, is it worth it? It just depends if you're a collector or an investor, if you're an investor, then you've got to take teams that, it doesn't have to be a big team, but you've got to take teams that have a chance of getting the cards such as Celebration and Spanning Time that you can sell for triple or quadruple the money you put in. I mean, given that you need a little bit of luck. If you are someone who doesn't like to take risks, you think that the chance of hitting are very low, then my recommendation would be to buy the cards on eBay, because anyway, 80% of the cards hit in Immaculate aren't going to be the most desirable cards that people go after. Probably about the 20%, such like the books, the Spanning Time, the Celebration, the Moments, and certain cards will probably be, the most cards people are after. So if you're looking to get those cards and you don't want to take any risks, then my suggestion would be you go to eBay and wait. It's been 10 days, so prices are still crazy. For example, a Lukaku book is still 200. Who knows? Someone mentioned that a Lacazette book is around 600, but that's 223. But if you wait a little bit, then you probably get good deals on eBay. So that's basically all about Immaculate, which, I mean, this is the second video I've done. I've done one before it came out, and this is just to wrap things up. I mean, if you have more questions, a lot of times you can just PM me, ask me when I'm breaking live, PM to my personal account, to my page account, or you can follow or subscribe. And I mean, if you think my video is useful, then maybe give me a thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. Until next time, see you all later, guys.